Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another session this afternoon. But before we proceed or we discuss deeper our discussion this afternoon, please follow our official Facebook page, Gender and Society 2023, so that you will be updated. Now, I'm creating this recorded session for those students who were interrupted during the students' orientation yesterday, especially those students scheduled on Friday. Alright? For lesson 3, our topic is about gender and sexuality as subject of inquiry. We will be guided by our lesson objectives. First, define gender studies. B, discuss its historical origins. And C, explain its importance in society. Let's unlock terms first. Gender study, it is a study concerned about how reproductive roles are interpreted and negotiated in the society through gender. Second one is the social research. Social research is the process of investigating social realities. Next is the research approach. Research approach is an orientation in understanding social realities. The last one is the ethics in research. It is the sets of ethical considerations that all the researchers should follow. Now, why do we need to study the gender of people? What is the significance of it? What do you think is the effect of it to the society, to you as a student? Gender roles play a big part of social organization. It could be in work. In our previous lesson, you already understood how women and men viewed in a manufacturing industry during the industrial eras, wherein they prefer men to do the work instead of women. And in today's society, we cannot just we can easily identify the different gender roles, right? So it is really important for us to know how gender roles affects the society, how gender roles play a big part. It could be in work, it could be in school, an institution. How it could be in your circle of friends, diba? Paano ba naiiba ang babae at lalaki? How you treated your male friends, your female friends, or a member of LGBTQ. How your mother, how your father, how are the relationship of it in the family? Is your mother more on the household chores, or is it your father who do the work? Or is it your father who stays at home, take care of the family, or is it your mother who is working, right? Who make the decisions in the house? Is it your father or is it your mother? Who makes the decision in school, in the workplace? So that those questions need to be answered, and we need to know how these gender roles play a significant part in the social organization. Now, let's analyze how gender, sex, and sexuality impact our lives, especially how it creates gender inequality. Gender inequality, let's just have a review, refers to the inequality that both or either one of the gender experience. They feel that they are treated not equally. They treated unfairly. That is gender inequality. Now, these are just a few of violence faced by different gender. Number one is the female infanticide. Female infanticide refers to a child or a woman killed. Neglect. It refers to a child. It could be male and female that their parents abandoned them, in the street, in the canals, in a place wherein a child could no longer ask for help, that a child is hopeless. Female genital mutation, FGM. FGM, it is a condition. It is part of the culture, especially in Africa, wherein they are going to sue the female genitalia of a woman. They are going to put acid on it, especially the clitoris, wherein it is responsible for the orgasm. It is responsible for the sexual pleasure of a woman, because they believe that if they're going to cut this sexual pleasure, the women are pure. Next is rape. Rape refers to the sexual intercourse, to the forced sexual intercourse of women and men. It means you don't give a what? You don't give a permission. Very good. You don't give a permission to that opposite or to that same gender to do that thing, to do that sexual intercourse to you. That is rape. If there is no consensual or there is no permission, that is a rape. If you will not allow your partner, that is rape. Next is child marriage. Child marriage is a forcing of your child to tie a knot. It could be different or opposite. It could be opposite or same sex. Right? There are ethnic group or tribes that is part of their culture. But then again, we need to look on the problem that may come, especially to the women who are into the child marriage. Especially those women who's just 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, impregnated. They are not yet ready to do or experience being a woman. Next is forced prostitution. Forced prostitution, it refers to selling your body to give a sexual pleasure to different genders or same genders, right? Again, if it is forced, it means you don't have a say. Okay, you are just forced to do that thing. It could be for your livelihood, it could be for survival. So gender roles, it already discussed in the previous lesson. It refers to the masculinity and femininity of a person. It is just a social construct made by human made or define these roles in the society. If you are men, you are expected to be strong. You are expected to be hung, to be bold. You're expected to be gentleman. That's how they view or perceive men in the society. Second is femininity. If you're a woman, you are expected to act or to behave prim and proper, to be respectful, to be loved, to be loving, to be caring. That's how they perceive as women. Now my question is it still right to say that the men are the providers of the family when both the mother and the father now work and earn money? So I will just leave that question to you. Now for activity 1, you are going to write down or to check if you are agree or disagree on this statement. However, we cannot do this activity, that is because it's just a recorded session. But I will just read the statements. First, are you agree or not? Boys should not cry. Girls are bad drivers, while boys are superb drivers. Agree or not? Boys should not be allowed to play dolls. Women should be prim and proper. And is it okay for men to be rowdy? Because they are men anyway. Again, these statements, either you agree or not, it's up to you. Because it is just a recorded session, I cannot meet you personally. Now, diversity and inclusion. how diverse we are. We often say this, we are diverse, we are inclusive, you are part of us. We don't discriminate, we don't judge. Really? Is that, my question is that, really, are you sure? Don't you discriminate or judge gender because they do different thing which is expected them to behave in the society? Did you not judge them? That is my question. Now, a young boy or a young girl do the opposite things. What do you think would happen to them? Because if you're if you're a boy, you need to act like a man. You need to be brave. You need to be strong. But what if you will not do that? In our past lesson, that is called heteronormativity. It is social constructed norms of different genders that you need to follow. But what will happen? Because we are just talking a child here. So perhaps they will be disciplined by their parents. They will be hit. It depends if it is a broomstick or it could be a hanger or a slipper. Or they will be what do you call it, to check or have a guidance, counseling for that, because they do differently. What if there is a child who is belong to different gender? What will happen if they did not follow these socially constructed norms? Perhaps they will be discriminated. They will be judged. They will be accused. And they will be what? They will be a symbol of mockery. Right? They will be made, other people will make fun of them because they are different. Now, to further understand the different genders in the society, how men and women behave, perform in the society, we need to conduct a gender studies. We need to conduct a research. First, we need to identify the problems. Is there an existing phenomenon? Is there an existing problems in the society? That is the question. Now, if you have that in your mind, you need to conduct a study. Second is hypothesis. You need to create a hypothesis. Men is more on to, the younger men or the adolescent men are more into single women or single mom. Single ladies. Now, on the other hand, women whose age ranges from 18 to 25 years old prefer an old man ages from 45 above. That is your just a hypothesis. Now, to check your hypothesis, you need to do the research. Now, you're gonna make an assumptions. After you make an assumption, you need to gather the data. After you gather the data, you need to to do the analysis so that you can get the result of your research. Next, after that, you need to make a conclusions. So these are just the basic scientific processes in conducting a research. Now, approaches in research. A variety of issues. That is why a variety of approaches which can be used. A lot of research, type of research. A lot of issues in the world. That is why we need to use a specific approach to get the desired results that you want, to get the desired answers to your questions. We have the qualitative approach or the qualitative research. It means created and interpretations made by people about their own personal experience. So you need to gather the data based on the personal experiences, based on the personal ideas and opinions of that person. Example, live experiences of gay couple. You need to interview a gay couple. You need to ask their personal experiences as a gay couple. You do the interview, you will not do the survey, you will not give the question because that is just qualitative. We are not talking about numbers and data here. We are talking about the real experiences of that participants involved in your research. Next is the lived experiences of gay men. Same thing. Conduct a research, conduct an interview to the gay dad. Now, you need to first observe. You need to observe the society. You need to observe the surroundings. Next, conduct a one-on-one interview. So you conduct a one-on-one interview, need to do the focus group. Now, one-on-one interview is enough, but you want to get to the core on it. But you want to get more a rich result of your research. You need to do a focus group, so wherein you are going to invite a group of experts to interpret those answers and those questions that you did in your one-on-one interview. Now, these are the types of qualitative research. Number one is the case study research. You are going to interview one person if it is a case study, single case study. For example, you want to know the experiences of a college student prostitute. So you need to have a one-on-one interview. You need to know the case of that one college student which is turns out to be a prostitute. You will ask how they go in that job or in that position. If you wanted to ask different types of prostitute, let's just say, you do conduct a multiple case study. But again, that is just a sample of case study, right? Now it's the ethnography. It is a type of research wherein you are going to immerse, you're going to live where your participants is residing so that you can observe properly. You need it takes time doing an ethnography research. You're going to immerse there for more than 6 months. You are going to write everything. The time they wake up, the first thing they do, what they do in the society, what they do in the house, what they do in the family, how they perform, what is their culture, what is their traditions. That is in the ethnography. You need to immerse. Did you get me? Next is the grounded theory. It is a type of research wherein you are going to test or examine the existing theory. If there is no existing theory, you need to create your theory. That is in grounded theory. This type of research is hard. Perhaps it's because you are going to create something new. You are going to discover something new. Next is phenomenology research. It refers to type of research wherein you are going to tackle the trends and issues. What's trend today? What's new today? That is phenomenology research. Now let's proceed to quantitative research. It focuses more on characterizing a population or a sample. Since you cannot get the whole population of the Filipinos, male and female here, you will just get a sample or a subpopulation. For example, we have 116 million Filipinos in the Philippines. You will just get 1,000. That 1,000 alone will represent the 116 million. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So these are just examples of quantitative research. First, you need to get the level of adolescents believe in marriage before sex. That is why you need to conduct a research, a survey. How they view marriage. Is it before sex or after sex? So you need to conduct. Your respondents would be the adolescents. Lecture method and academic performance of SALA students. Now you are talking here the relationship. How lecture method affects the academic performance of a child or the SALA students. That's why you conduct the quantitative research, you do the survey. So there are types of quantitative research. Number one is the survey research, as I've mentioned, so you need to conduct a survey research. Second is correlational research. Correlational research refers to you need to examine how these variables affect its other variables. For example, how lecture method affects the academic performance and how academic performance affects the lecture method. Right? Next is the experimental research. Experimental research refers to type of research wherein you are going to experiment. You have the focus group and you have the control group and the uncontrol group. For example, this class, you will use the lecture method using traditional materials, right? On the other group, you will use the lecture method, but using the integration of technology. You will test based on their performance from quizzes, activities, assessment. You are going to compare their answers, diba? To check if they perform well in lecture method using traditional, or they perform well in lecture method using integration of technology. Now, if you are doubtful of the result of single research, for example, quantitative, you need to conduct a mixed method or the mixed research wherein you need to what? To follow, or you need to build up that explanation or interpretations from quantitative, you will conduct a qualitative. So there are different types of research: the explanatory sequential design, the exploratory sequential design. So this type of research will give you answer to the phenomenon. Now, ethics in gender and sexuality research. So we are talking about human here. Human is our subject in the research, right? So that is why we need to be very careful. We need to put, what do you call that one? Considerations in doing the research, because we're talking about human. So we need to follow these principles and considerations because we need to protect them from harm. It is ethical. You know what is right and what is wrong. So you need to do what is right and avoid what is wrong. So these are just a few samples. Number one is the informed consent. You need to inform your respondents and participants that they are the respondents and participants of your study. Inform them what are the research objectives, what are the statement of the problem, what is the totality of your research, what would be the expected outcome of your research. You need to inform them. Next is the assent form. Now, if your respondents or participants are underage, you need to conduct an assent form, right? You need to, what? Have an informed consent from their parents and immediate guardian. When you conduct this type of research, interview, or survey from a child, you need that parents or immediate guardian to sit beside them, because they are not in legal age to make a decision. That is the purpose of it. Confidentiality and anonymity. You need to protect your participants and respondents. It should be confidential. That is why you need to use codes in presenting the results of your research. Anonymity, right? After you extracted all the results, you need to destroy all the evidences. You need to destroy all the recordings, all the writings that you have gathered from them to secure their anonymity. Dapat wala, dili sila makibalian. Next is the non-maleficence and beneficence. Why you conducted this research? Is it to inflict harm? Is it to inflict harm or damages to your students, or to your respondents and participants? If that is your purpose, or if that is your reason in conducting a research, do not conduct a research. Now, if you conduct this research because you want an answer to an existing phenomenon, then do the research. But you should put in your mind that you should not inflict harm to the respondents, to the participants, and to the other people, which is the member of the society. Next is beneficial. Is it beneficial? Why you conduct this study? Is it beneficial? How your study can help in what? In the society, perhaps. How your study contribute to the body of knowledge. That is the purpose of it. Human ecology, the main purpose of it is that you as an individual, we are influenced by our external and internal forces, our environment, how we perform and behave in the society. It is because of these factors. Okay? So these factors molded us on what we are right now, on who we are right now. It is because of them. Now, thank you for listening, and do not hesitate to ask any questions regarding our lesson. Again, please watch the recorded session so that will not be left in our discussion. So, have a great day, everyone.